Should be looking to bring the ball to the grandstand side. And he goes short with a nice pass to Aidan Martin. South looking to chip the ball into the breeze a little bit and go straight up the middle. That's a dangerous kick. Hasn't quite come off. And that could be holding the ball. That's not Adrian Campbell, but he is in number 27. Chris Puckridge with the tackle and puts it back immediately into a dangerous spot in the Rangers forward line. Big Lowy took the ball and dropped it. Unlucky South not to get a free there. Nice clearing handball at the back of the pack. And incorrect disposal, or in fact no disposal. Caught holding the ball. Great tackle to Landon Gregory. One of a few Rangers coming in under a little bit of an injury cloud. No sign of a dodgy hamstring there, though. Goes back for the shot at goal and pushes it across the face for another behind. Rangers making use of the breeze at this stage, holding the ball in their forward half. Seems to be a little bit of a plan at the moment for South to be bringing the ball to the grandstand flank. Chip kick out is good and finds Josh Santostefano just on the 50. Well manned on the mark by Stephen McFarlane. He's caused a turnover there. Lane Pennington quite clever with the ball at his feet. It's pushed over the boundary on Marlborough Rangers half-forward flank at about the 50. No Rangers ruckman at the toss-in. Found again by Gregory, who seems to be getting a bit of the ball early and pushed forward. Again, the South's defence under pressure. Good tackling again from Marble Range. And I think that might be holding the ball. Good tackle from South. Umpire Fluff Dennis showing no favouritism. Ball's brought back in through the middle corridor. Good gather by Souths and great smother by Damon Thomas. Levi Smith roving out the back of the pack and chips it up to Ethan Tiller. He'll look to drive Rangers deep into attack. Ball's up for the big fella. And the other big fella roving the front of the pack, snaps it around like a rover. Great short pass to Gregory again. Gregory in everything. He goes back and casually drops one through without tearing his hamstring. I'm trying to be unbiased. So after pushing forward with the breeze on several occasions, Rangers get the first goal. 1-2, South's yet to score. South won their way through to the grand final by beating, I think they beat Tasmans in the prelim. These two sides played off against each other in the second semi. We've been the top two sides for the whole year, so we've got a grand final with the best two teams. Umpire indicating a free here to Braden Miller. Again, pushes the ball with a nice kick out in front of Mark Habner. Drops what he should have taken. Ball pushed out into that pocket. We'll have a ball in. Marlborough Rangers half-forward flank. Knocked forward into the dangerous position, Marlborough Rangers forward line, but well followed up by South in defence. Again, looking to bring it towards this grandstand side, keeping the ball in front of them, under pressure. Ball's out in the Marlborough Range forward pocket. Ball thrown in, again Big Lowy taking the ruck. And from an impossible angle, the ball's brought back into the square, but well read by South's defence. Clearing ball, pushing it wide, showing a bit of toe running out of the defence there was, I think that was Hope maybe, Caleb Hope. but pushed back in by Chris Puckridge to another dangerous posse, and the big fella just too tall. Plucks one over the top, reminiscent of Big Cox last night in the black and whites. He goes back and not noted for his accuracy, Lowy, all the time, has jagged that one and pushed it to the left. South under a little bit of pressure here, but I suppose that's probably a 2 to 3 goal breeze that Marble Range are kicking with. Ball again brought out to this side. Good contest, ball to ground. And South's happy to see it roll over the line. Paul Dennis officiating at that end. Young Jack Waller in the middle and Kerry O'Leary at the other end. Ball comes down to Hadner, who jags it onto his boot. Into a dangerous spot again. Heads over the footy. South's defence proving up to it. Probably a bit unlucky there, South. That could have been held without it, but it's gone the way of the Rangers for holding the ball. And Ethan Tiller, the reserves medalist, goes back to have a shot at goal from a tight angle. Pushes it right across the face, and in fact it's out of bounds on the full. South ball deep in the pocket. Can't do anything with that. No, hurry. No, they won't have anyone there to do an x-ray. Just bring him up here. Bring him up here and let me have a look. And ball handballed out by Kobe Stevens into the path of Mark Hadner. Ball again pushing forward in front of Tiller. Rangers probably not making the most of their time in the forward half at the moment. And the ball's out in the forward pocket again on that seaside at the scoreboard end. Nice tap out by Big Lowy, but South first to recover. Couple of good handballs, but under pressure again. Marble Range tackling is fierce at the moment. Ground ball competition. Hadner gets a quick kick, but a great smother from Nick Wright. Spills into the path of Lane Pennington, the wingman for Marble Range, who's able to slot one through. Got an uncanny knack of being very good around goals, Lane Pennington. And I think he's fronting up for his soccer grand final tomorrow. Wind's even freshening a little more. I might get some considered farming opinions in front of me as to what the weather's doing this afternoon. Ball pushed forward by South. First time they've been into their forward half. Nice mark taken at half forward. And a lovely delivery into the forward line. Straight into the path of Kyron Cox. He goes back to shoot from 40. Maybe into what is probably a 2 or 3 goal breeze. Nice bit of ball movement forward from South. Cox goes back. Deliberate approach. Just pushes it across the face for one behind. Would have been a handy one against the breeze. And against the run of play. Oh, the kick out is well intercepted and marked there by, I think that was Kieran Van Meulen. He'll go back and have a difficult shot directly into the breeze. Tight against the boundary line in the Flinders Theatre pocket. Left footer. Sits it out in front and a great mark taken. Sitting out in front in the right spot. Marble Range not getting a fist on it. And Ryan Sivertson will go back to kick it goal. He'd only be 10 metres out on an acute angle. And he's pushed it to the right-hand side. There's a few premature South horns going off there, but one behind the score. So Peter Puckridge, the weather expected for this afternoon?
Fine, I think, if it doesn't rain.
An outstanding description, Peter. Fine if it doesn't rain, is what we've been told. Lovely kick in from Chris Puckridge. That's gone outside of 50. Some nice running football here from Marble Range. And here he is again, Lane Pennington, putting on the afterburners. He's maybe looking to do a little bit too much. That's an interesting distance of kick there, straight to Habner. It's been turned over by South very well, and a mark taken. It's just past centre half forward by Ben Jacobs. He chips inboard. Nice controlled kick. South just turning it over when they didn't want to. Greg Rowley moving the ball forward, and then the big captain, Clunk, pushes it out in front of Habner. This will test his hamstring. Gets the handball, turns around to Cody Sampson, who puts the ball out in front to a dangerous spot to Big Low. 3 against 1. Ball goes to ground. Under a little bit of pressure still, and a big tackle there from Low. Holds the ball in the forward line again for Marble Range, and it's out in that pocket. Ball slammed on the boot by Adam Hollenby. It's been taken by the Breeze straight over the boundary line. Out of bounds on the full. Free to South, deep in the Marble Range forward pocket. Still kicking into a stiff Breeze. Nice little chip kick. Obviously a deliberate plan by South to chip the ball into the Breeze. Maintaining possession. Ball taken by, was that Ben Jacobs? Can't quite see. Oh, in a big clash at centre half back. Marble Range turned the ball over. Habner from 50 leans back and sends one straight through the middle. There's the benefit of having a bit of class. An XEP centre half back pretending he's a centre half forward. Marble Range swinging a few rotations early now. Landon Gregory coming off, and coming on is Dylan Roos. Just looking for a little bit of zip-zap around the forward 50, I think, Rangers at the moment. Tiller again trying to win the ball out of the middle. Nice handball to Low from Miller. Ball again deep into Rangers territory, and South doing well to turn it over, but their kicks coming out of that half back line aren't hitting targets as they would like. A little bit of confusion here from the umpire. Not sure which way the ball's going. Lane Pennington pushes it deep into the Rangers forward line, and a great grab taken. I think the free was paid in advance of the mark to Hollenby. And the captain, the big Clint Beard, gets the free for a push in the back. Goes back with a ruckman's kicking technique, slops that straight through the high diddle diddle. South also now making a few positional changes. Coming on, Jai Teakle. A little bit of height to go down into defence. In exchange for Josh Santo-Stefano. And he'll be lined up at centre half forward against Adam Hollenby, who is himself a presence. Big knock out of the ruck from Low. Puts it out into the path of Thomas the wingman. Ball in dispute. around the centre mark. South working hard. Well won by Kane Hope. I think he got the free for high and he was away, but the umpire rightly bringing back. There was no advantage. Hope looking to come top side. Nice delivery out in front of the half forward flank. Well spoilt by Puckridge. Gets the ball forward, but it's cut off again by Miller, who's playing a fantastic Ruck Rovers role at the moment. Ball sits on. Here's a contest coming. Well met and well tackled off the half-back line. Putting his head over the ball and trying to win it forward was... Oh, no, that doesn't look good. We've got a South guy down holding his knee. Ball umpire probably needs to hold up play here, I would say. And he's not putting his whistle in his mouth, but he needs to. He's now called time on, I think, which was the sensible thing to do. And coming on for Souths through the interchange is number 15, who I don't have a number for. Levi Smith to take the relieving free kick, putting it up in front of Habner, but it's taken by Big Clunk, who's smashing through with the big body. Souths winning the ball with some tenacious efforts through Rowley. Again, that breeze providing a decisive factor, making it hard to clear the area. And the umpire will have it after a nice tackle from Angus Martin. Back out at Marble Range's 50-metre mark. Low in ruck again. The umpire's pulled out a free there. I didn't really see it. It's to the ruckman. I don't think I can ever understand those ruck infringements. And an after the ball free down ground. That'll be in the goal square as Levi Smith was met heavily after he disposed of it. A little bit undisciplined from South, and that's going to cost a goal. The ruckman Beard again to look at slotting through his second in as many minutes. Straight through, makes no mistake. I think he's put that into the front bar of the Northern, probably not making the most of their time with the breeze. South under the pump a little bit here, but it's hard to get a read on the game as the breeze is probably worth a good, it's strengthened even a little more, it's probably worth 3. So with Marble Range 5-3 to 2 points, maybe they're a little bit in front. Umpire O'Leary ready to throw the ball up and get us going again with Lowe still in ruck. And a big clearance in front of Tiller, who gets onto the ball, pressured when he kicked and turned over well by Caleb Hope at half back. But again, those kicks coming out of half back, not finding their targets, and Marble Range turn it over again. Warhurst kicks long out in front of, I think that's Ruse. It was just a little bridge too far and it's gone out of bounds. Be thrown in on the half-forward line for Marble Range. And there's the siren to end the first quarter. We'll get a better read of where these two teams are at when the Souths have had their turn with the wind. Okay, wind sort of staying fairly constant now. We've got, hang on, I just realised I haven't got my glasses on. Got umpire Waller, young Jack Waller, been pretty good actually this year, umpire. He's been rewarded with the reserves game. He's in control for the start of the second quarter. This is where we'll get a better read on South's game, kicking with this stiff breeze. Out of the middle, ball up. Big thump from Beard, moving in Marble Ranger's direction. Tough in the clinches. Nice handball out from Miller, I reckon it was. Kicked forward by Hollywood. And free for a high tackle to South at their half back line. Plays on, off the mark. I think that was Dylan Blewett, perhaps. Ball goes deep into South's forward line, cross half forward. Well read and snaffled with a great run off half back from Chris Puckridge. Ball pushed through to the half forward line, but well read front and centre by, I think that's Lane Pennington again, showing a bit of pace. Dancing around with some soccer skills. South win it back at half back and drive it long down the middle. Knocked over in the contest was a Ranger who's down. They've already lost two. I think Coach Chad Owen with a hamstring, and centre half forward Stephen McFarlane is off to hospital with a fractured collarbone. So down two rotations already on the bench. Oh, ball kicked the wrong way out of the scrimmage by Lockie Warhurst. He's just getting his north and south mixed up. And another ball in on that far pocket side. Beard wins the tap again. And the umpire's picked out a free here, going South's way on their half-forward line. A couple of leads are given. Double back. Holding on to the ball for a while. Finally, a nice kick finds... I think that might be, is it Filippo Fiore maybe? Not listed in the budget, number 15. But the subsequent chip on has resulted in a free to Billy Campbell, who will kick from 30 metres, 35 maybe. The breeze coming a little bit left to right over his left shoulder. Gives himself plenty of space from the mark. Goes back and slots it through. Souths register their first major. Maybe we have a bit more of a contest happening in this quarter. The pacey Vlad Kurvik brings the ball back to the centre. Still out there having a crack, the old boy. Good on him. Beard again wins the tap. He's proving pretty decisive in the knocks. But another free found for South, I think. Not sure what that one was for, but again, ready to bring the ball forward. They use... Thank you, Beer Delivery. Habner again with a long kick, pushing it forward into the pocket. Dylan Roos spills over the back, puts it in the right spot. It's bending back. Straight through, used the breeze to perfection. And that move from Rangers to bring on a little bit more zip around the forward line has paid off at the start of this quarter with a valuable one against the breeze. I think South did the right thing there in bringing the ball to the grandstand side, but it just got turned over, unfortunately, and went the other way. But definitely this is the side to be bringing it if they're kicking with this breeze. So again, we've got Stoetzer up against Beard in the ruck, Hollenby on Rowley, Tiller and Adrian Campbell. Campbell keeping him shepherded off the ball, but Tiller overran it slightly. Ball falls to Smith. Nice sharp handball. Dropped by the ruckman. That's a golden rule. Don't handball to ruckman. Beard with the free. He dishes to Smith, who finds Daniel Nisbet with a bit of toe out in space on the wing. A nice delicate chip to the lead forward of Habner. They should be leading to this grandstand side, but instead the ball was turned over well by South, who run the ball out through Jaden Blewett. He goes down the wing. The ball spills there in front of the two wingmen. Pennington applying pressure, but he gets the handball away and it's over the line. Ball in on the far side in front of the RSL. Nice pick up by Campbell, who dishes the ball in the south direction, only to be mopped up by Kobe Sampson with a long ball back up the wing to a contest with Damo Thomas. Quick handball on to Lane Pennington, who again turns on the afterburners. Two bounces. Looks to set the ball forward. Chips unselfishly to Roos in the pocket, who will go back and have a shot from 30 metres out. Again, difficult spot to be kicking goals from here. Probably kicking straight into it. Got the distinctive lime green boots on. Goes back to slot this one. Gets pretty close to the man on the mark. Lifts the ball up. And I think the height of low is a scary proposition. And the South's defenders have panicked a little bit. A push in the back, and he's going to get another kick at it. We'll remember what happened to the last one, but no such repeat here. He slots it straight through with nonchalant ease. Umpire Kerry O'Leary, throw the ball up again. Beard wins that one down. Difficult ball down to the feet of Miller. Ball in dispute. Stacks on the mill, and the umpire will have it again. Wastes no time getting it moving again. Beard again with the big thump. Blew it again with the intercept. This time brings it to the correct side of the ground for an attack by South. Showing a bit of pace, Warhurst clears the ball off half back. Puts it out in front of Thomas, who's managed to bring the ball to ground, and then soccers it forward, again into a dangerous position in front of Habner. Ball across Marble Ranges half-forward line, but again it's picked up well by Adrian Campbell, who's holding up the Marble Range attacks well, and he pushes it to the far side, out of bounds for a throw-in. Ball's back in play. Snaffled well by, I think that was Rowan Mallard. Long ball into another dangerous spot in the forward line. Goes over the head of Beard. Mopped up by the South defence. A nice accurate kick. Chipped along. He's chosen to go into the middle. Nice kick to Boyd again. He's proving to be getting his hands on a lot of footy in there. Ball knocked down that time by Hollenby. Can't take it with him. South keep pressuring. The ball's still in dispute. Still pressuring. Now it's wrapped up by Miller of Marble Range, and Hollywood kicks the ball out wide. Nisbet, using his pace, takes the ball. Oh, gets cleaned up from behind. No free given. Colin Cox gets his hands on the ball, but he's stripped of it like a thief in the night by Chris Puckridge. And the ball will be bounced or thrown up just in to the northern end of the grandstand. Rucks don't get to contest it. Ball in dispute again. I fear this will be possibly another ball up here. The umpires are wasting no time at stoppages in getting the ball going again. They're throwing it up. Lowe gets the tap to Hollywood, who's set upon. Oh, interesting. I think he just wanted to get it out of the area. Not sure he had any prior opportunity there, but Cox wins the ball. Puts it straight to centre half forward, but great use of the body, and Levi Smith takes a chest mark and then distributes the ball to the wing in front of the speed of Pennington. Kobe Sampson mops it up. And I think it's called holding the man. Didn't have it when tackled. He swings around onto the right boot, puts it out in front of Rowan Mallard, who takes the mark and plays on. Oh, and then runs himself into some trouble. Great tackle and play on from there. South's half-back line standing up. Good spoil over the line by Smith. Both half-back lines on top here. The ball seesawing between half-back lines. And the Rucks getting a fair bit of action with these ball-ins. I think South won the ruck down there and was snaffled in front of the pack. Oh, there's a chance. No, ball went down in the pocket. Both had a piece of it, and the ball went through for one behind. Marble Range to bring the ball in. Adam Hollenby to kick in. He goes to the defensive side. Long ball and big grab taken by the big fella Lowe. He quickly dishes off into the path of Sampson, who's now getting a bit of ball. He looks up, lifts the eyes, and hits up Nisbet. Contest between Nisbet and his opponent. I think that was Campbell. No, that was Jaden Blewett again. So both he and Campbell doing well across half back. Desperate tackle by Thomas. I don't know how he's given the freeway, but he has. Might have been called too high. South bringing the ball back into the middle. Oh, a little bit of a wayward ball. Dropped by Miller, but into the path of Thomas. Slams it on the boot without much direction. A little dribble out into that. No, it won't dribble out. Now it will. On the half forward flank for Marble Range. Rangers bench making the use of their rotations fairly well. As Dan Anderson comes on. He pushes immediately down into defence. Ball again out in that pocket. It's been there a lot lately. Might be a few naked dancing girls down there. So Marble Range 7-3, Lincoln South 1-3. 10-15 minutes into the second quarter. Scrappy play in the pocket. Rangers desperately trying to clear the ball out. South desperately looking for another score. Ball taken well, coming through on the run by Kyron Cox, but it's been turned over at that point with a good tackle. Jaden Blewett looking to run onto the ball. Pennington with a good handball to Gent. Gent takes the ball and goes back to Warhurst. Great shepherd from Nisbet allows Warhurst the time to kick. The ball not quite there for Habner, and it's turned over by Jez Sundqvist for Souths. He puts it again out to the Smith, intercepts at half back, gets it forward. Gent snaffles it, uses his bulk to burst off the tackle, but wrapped up by Hope. Ball going nowhere. Oh, he's called that holding the ball. Righto, sorry. That's got to be play on. He's come around. Umpire's called it now. And he's kicked under pressure. Didn't have it there, Warhurst either, but that's called play on. I don't know what he's going to call here. He's called holding the ball, I think. No, too high, I think. South's Braden Robinson puts it deep into South's attack, but the good defensive mark taken by Mitchell Price. Price goes back and assesses his options. Not a lot on offer. He goes long out to the far side to Thomas. Takes a good grab. Marble Rangers half back line. He brings the ball back into the middle to Roos, and they start to work the ball across to the grandstand side. Habner looking up, eyes in the sun in the eyes, but he holds the ball in the area with a bit of tenacity. Ball in dispute. Umpire will have it. Big Low again in ruck. Manages to swat the ball out. Roos cops one high, but he follows up and wins his own ball. Runs around onto the right boot and brings it towards the half-forward flank. A little bit of experience there from Sundqvist. Just edged Pennington under the ball. Takes a good defensive mark. He brings the ball back to centre half-forward, where Thomas drops what he should have taken. But butters up and gets the next ball forward to centre half-forward. Gent misses the half volley, which was a difficult one, and it's cleared out of the area right out to that far side again by Aidan Martin. And we'll have another one of those ball ins on the far side. Big Low getting his hands on the ball again, but Souths are starting to win their fair share of ball off the hand, and it's pushed forward into the dangerous position in South's forward line, well roved off the bounce that nobody seemed to get a hand on, and the goal put through by, I think that might have been Sivitson, but I'll just have to check that when he turns around. Not Sivitson, I thought it was Vermeulen, but no, I reckon it was Ben Jacobs, actually. Nice bit of roving at the front of the pack, and he made no mistake. South 2-3, Marble Range 7-3. South starting to win a little bit of their share of ball out of the ball-ups now. Kate Hope, another kick forward, but that was smothered, and into the path of Miller, who does a little party trick and flicks it on to Gregory. Gregory puts it into the path of Gent, who needs to get his hands on the footy, and it's cleared again. Daniel Nisbet using his pace to get first to the ball, and he'll have to sidestep, which he does. Lowers the eyes. Intelligent kick to Miller. Miller also lowers the eyes and puts the ball in the path of Gregory. Difficult one going over the back, and they'll hold it in the Marble Range forward line 30 metres out. There'll be another ball up. The run-off half-back of a couple of the young Marble Rangers, Sampson and Warhurst, proving useful. Miller rows it out of the pack, dodges this way, dodges that way, puts it in front of Habner, drops what he might have otherwise taken. Ball still in a dangerous area. South win the ball low, brings it out. I think he was put over the line after he kicked, and the South's free to Jez Sundqvist will be down the ground where the ball landed. He sets it up in front of Jacobs. The last goal kicker is working well across the ground. Jacobs assesses his options. Sundqvist providing an option, but he goes longer than that with the breeze. At the back of the pack, Jaden Blewett takes another ball and quickly plays on to centre half forward, where an unattended Vermeulen takes the ball, chips across to Aidan Martin, who slots through South's third. Nice bit of football that from South. Accurate foot passing. They didn't blaze with the breeze. Found targets, slotted it through the middle. Marble Range still trying to work out who's on who down in their defensive area. Probably committed a little bit to going forward then. Ball up in the middle, Lowe still in ruck. Probably rucking more than he often does, Lowe. I wonder if this means there's something wrong with Beard, but they share the duties. Run off half-back again by Warhurst, who goes long to centre half forward for Marble Range against the breeze. They're there in numbers, but making it hard for themselves. It's well won, one on about 3 by South, who now flick it forward to their half-forward line. Starting to get a bit of the ball here, South, and getting a nice run on. It's the end of the quarter. And at half-time, Marble Range 7-3, Lincoln South 3-3. Umpire Dennis with the ball, ready to start proceedings. And the message from Marble Range was an original one. This is the premiership quarter. Going with the breeze. They feel they only played half a quarter last time. South's credit, they got back into the game in that quarter. Immediately Marble Range are out of the middle, and guess where it ends up? On the far side for a ball in. Beard back in ruck, so obviously nothing wrong with him, but the ball's won out by South. I reckon, again, that's that number 15 that I don't have a name for in the budget, and it's eventually forced back over the line again. South win the ball out of the middle, pushed forward, I think, again by Campbell perhaps. And Lane Pennington again showing a clean pair of heels. Puts the ball in front of Gent, who takes a good chest mark under close attention. He looks up and drives the ball deep into the forward line. Ruse has the ball knocked away and it's swooped on by Tiller. He handballs to a ruckman. Number one rule in football, do not do that. And the ball's out of bounds in the forward pocket again.
He's sitting behind another one. I think you should be quick up.
I'll go next. Ruckman sitting in front of me. I've taken my life into my own hands here. Again, I think that was Adrian Campbell, perhaps, pushing the ball out for South. But there's Rangers everywhere at half forward. It flicks out. I think that's Nick Wright. Long ball off the left to a contest between Puckridge and Vermeulen. Ball again finds its way across the line on the far side in front of the RSL. Ball pushed forward by Miller, I think. He's playing well as a ruck rover, giving a little bit in the middle. Finds its way long into the forward 50. Big Low takes the grab and looks to centre the ball. Straight out in front of Roos. Ball goes over his head and it's swooped on by Hope. Juggling around Pennington. Finds the ball. Handball. Diving and dancing is Tommy Gent. Slams the ball on the boot, but it's only through for one behind. Marble Range again peppering the goals at the start of this quarter. Ball will be brought back in by South. He chips to the pocket. Finds Sunquist. Nice delivery. He goes back looking for something up the line. He goes short again. Oh, a little dangerous, and it is knocked out. Ball in dispute again. Rangers pounce on it. Habner Jags run round the corner, but good defensive mark taken by Jaden Blewett. He's playing a good game for South down back. He puts it out wide, finds Cox. The idea is right, running the ball up the flank, but that kick pulls up in the breeze, and Tiller takes the mark. Quickly playing on, finds an unmarked Habner all on his own at centre half forward, 40 metres out. He'll go back and test his hamstrings good and proper. Passed his fitness test Friday night. Let's see what this does. Goes back and confidently drops it under boot. Straight through the middle. No grab for the back of the thigh. Geez, he must have a good physio.
Might edit some of this. Edit some of this.
Beard in ruck again. They look like, he and Lowe look like they're sharing the duties by quarter. Knocked out, in dispute. The big frame of Hollywood over the ball and it's held in. Umpire Dennis ready to ball up again. Beard gets himself well positioned, brings it down to the feet of his Smalls. Pressure again. Nice quick handball out from Coleman. Contest made by Warhurst, but it's picked up by Jacobs, who jams it on the right boot into the path of Cox. This could be one against the breeze, and he puts it straight through. Cox getting one against the run of play and against the breeze for Souths. Bearing in mind Souths had the breeze in the last quarter, that's a handy goal. Cox getting a little bit of it as well. He's now being manned up by Anderson. Pennington and Dylan Blewett playing fairly wide of each other on the wings. Quick handball flicked out by the ruckman Beard into the path of Tiller, who left it behind. Swooped on by Souths. Ball in dispute. And umpire Waller calls for it. We'll have a ball up. Marble Range centre half forward. Still inside the square. low in ruck now. Ball into the path of Sampson. He jags one forward. Habner having to chase. He's putting pressure on. And ball runs out into that pocket in front of Bodines. Ball snaffled by Thomas. Ever the opportunist. Puts it out in front of Ruse, who takes a good chest mark. In front where all forwards should be. He goes back, taking time over this. It is an important goal, and he slots it through the middle. Marble Range 9-4 to Lincoln South 4-3. This wind pretty consistent now, coming from the southeast, pretty much straight down the ground, favouring that tackle world side a little bit, and probably 3 goals in it. Back to the centre with Beard in ruck. Miller, Tiller and Hollywood, so they've got their best midfield in there at the moment. Marble Range. Ball quick kick from Hollywood out onto that far side. Low sets himself. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's one back over into the middle of the ground. Hadn't a little bit tricky to pick up there, and I think he's got a free for. Now I think that's a South free for too high as he came over the top of him in an effort to pick up the ball. So South to probably try and work this ball up the line. It's a good kick, but only as far as Warhurst, who extends those gadget arms and takes a good grab. Needs to just get it in quickly and long with a bit of breeze, and that's exactly what he does. In front of Gregory, who's back on, waiting at the back. Ruse with a slick handball and a great tackle. Yeah, well rewarded tackle to, can't quite see who that South player is, but I think he caught Lane Pennington, who was on his way to a goal. So it was a saving tackle. Plenty of options being provided. He now swings out wide down the far. I don't think anyone touched that, and it went out of bounds on the full. The breeze definitely favouring that side of the ground. We've seen it going out over there a lot. You'd think the players would be trying to bring the ball back into the middle of the ground a little more. A great kick from, I think that was Beard, the ruckman, out in front of Ruse. But again, South's defence holding strong. A rushed kick sees Tiller take a mark at centre half forward. At about the 45 metres, he goes back and fancies his chances with this breeze. Comes in now, puts it up into the breeze. I tell you what, it's not a bad leg. Touched on the line, I think, by big ruckman Lowe. One behind. Now, this looks better. South looking to bring the ball out this side. Nice, accurate kick. Ball taken by Jaden Blewett, who's knocking up, getting kicks coming out of that defensive area. Cox again working hard to provide options. Back to Sundquist. And he sticks to the grandstand side, puts it up in front of the pack, and again, nice grab taken by that guy I don't have a name for, number 15. He's had a bit of a footy. He sits it up in front of the wing. No Marble Range take the contest, and Vermeulen runs away with it after a chest mark. Finds Jacobs on the half-forward line. South's again pushing into the breeze well. Marble Range not looking like they're sticking with their men in their forward line, really looking around, whose is that? And South's quite accurate with their foot passing going forward. couple of goals against the breeze here could make the last quarter quite interesting. It's a wobbly old kick off the boot, but it's out in front of the forward. He spins around, has a shot at goal, and I think that is just snuck out of bounds in the Flinders Theatre pocket. Matt Stokes are having the shot at goal. Assistant coach Proud barking the orders from the Marble Range box, getting a little nervy. Ball up and under, not going anywhere, and the umpire will ball that up. Only 20 metres out from South's goal. Lowe with the big punch finds Sampson. Sampson immediately brushes the tackle. Finds nice handball across to Thomas, who clears the area and finds Gregory. Gregory calling for the ball to be short. He puts it out in front of Roos, who's well hedged under the ball by Sundqvist. Sundqvist getting his aspirations and capabilities mixed up. Caught with the ball, it spills out and is snuck through for one behind. Marble Range wasting opportunities at goal here. Again, South's running the ball out down the grandstand wing, and Kieran Vermeulen proving to be quite a good target coming up the grandstand side as they come out of defence. He's under pressure now from Nisbet, and the ball's pushed over the boundary line, and there'll be a throw in on Marble Range's half-forward line. Ball comes in low in front, taps the ball over the back. Getting a kick to it was Tiller. It's then forced forward in the south direction. Sundqvist leads in the race to the ball. Big Shepherd from Coleman. Ball's going nowhere. The umpire, Dennis, sprints in to ball it up. Ball taken by Sampson, gets a boot to it, scrubs it forward. Very messy play at the moment. Really, Souths are the only team at the moment getting the ball into the clear and pushing it forward against the breeze. Marble Range finding it hard to find players in the clear. Ball up again inside the 50 for Marble Range. Again, they win the clearance, but the ball is immediately scrubbed across the ground by South. Picked up by Warhurst, who puts one back to the dangerous spot. A great defensive mark taken back there by, I think that might have been Adrian Campbell. Colin Cox, who is playing a good defensive game. He immediately finds... that might be Josh Santos Stefano, who puts it up the wing to Blewett and Sampson. Sampson catches Blewett with the ball, but it's spilled over for another ball in. Ball in. Souths win the tap down in front. Good handball out. And umpire Waller's given a push in the back. Free to Jaden Blewett. He again uses the ball well to Cox. About time Marble Range started locking down on those two. Again, they look for Vermeulen. This is proving a fairly familiar pattern. Braden Miller, tenacity, wins the ball, pushes it forward. Sampson, ball going over the top. Follows up. But again, it's Jaden Blewett to Vermeulen. Someone brought to tell the Marble Range bench that there's a pattern developing there. Again, Vermeulen wins the ball, 3-on-1. Puts it forward. Ball spilt. Price causes a contest. Lifts the eyes, chips the ball. I thought he kicked the ball to Warhurst in the pocket. I think it might have been called play on, not 15. I'd like to pace that one out. So it's a throw-in South's forward pocket. Ball tapped down to Hollywood. He scrubs the ball forward again. Out of bounds in the pocket in front of the windsock. Ball again thrown into a scrubby contest. Not a lot of free ball coming out at all. Marble Range forwards situated very deep, kicking with the breeze. They certainly haven't made the most of the breeze this quarter. And in fact, I would say at this point in time, Souths are winning this quarter. Again, they push the ball forward into the breeze. Again, it's a contest in the air. Jacob snaps a quick ball out of the middle. A handball comes across to the middle of the ground. It's in a dangerous spot. Marble Range fumbling again. South, a quick kick forward, and it's marked by Price. Playing a good game at fullback, or is that Miller? No, it's Miller. Miller sees a man in the pocket, finds Hollywood. A beautiful pass. This is better football. Passing the ball from body to body. Ends up with Warhurst at centre-half back. He kicks long to centre-half forward where Gregory sets himself. Ball goes over the back, but it's Roos with a bit of pace. Runs onto it. Tackled immediately. Ball scrubbed forward into the pocket. Marble Range looking pretty tall in their front half and a little bit less mobile. Ball again pushed over the line into that forward pocket. Ball in. Lowe wins the tap again, but Souths are starting to read his hand and getting first use of it out of those contests. Gregory gets down over the footy and puts it back to a centre-half forward when Nisbet flies but drops the mark. Puckridge manages to get a hand on it, but bang, it's away. Souths moving forward again. Legs starting to show in South's favour at this stage. They're running the ball off their half-back line well. About time Marble Range's bench started to pull a few levers. Marble Range move it off half-back with handball. Kobe Sampson goes long to Gregory, not to the right side of the ground, but Gregory takes the ball. He brings it back to the right direction. Out in front of Lowe, who takes a pluck and goes back to have his shot. They found it hard to combat his height, Lowe. He goes back and nonchalantly drops another one through. It looked a better build-up for Marble Range, but they've certainly been under pressure this quarter. And I would say the siren's about to go. Souths, I'd almost say, have won that quarter. Had the fair percentage of the ball against the breeze in their forward 50. Marble Range have found it hard to find passages of play like that last one. There's the siren for three-quarter time. With Marble Range 10 goals 6 to South 4-3. South's requiring about 7 goals, but certainly not out of the question with this breeze.
Sit up there forever. He didn't have to go up there straight away.
You know he got his shoulder strapped like I usually got this. And I told him he had it strapped, and I was like, you know, you need to get strapped properly. He's like, no, it's wrong. Yeah, I know, it wouldn't have affected him.
The collarbone is a different. That was where it was back straight on the side. Picture Bo was second. The odds. What was the message? What was the message there?
The message was,
Here we go for the last quarter of the 2018 Reserves Grand Final. Marble Range well placed at 10 goals 6 to 4 goals 3 for South, but South kicking with the breeze. It's probably been worth 3 or 4 all day, and had a lot of ball in that last quarter kicking against the breeze. Low end ruck gets the big thump in front of Tiller, but it bounces on its point. Straight through goes the bulldozer, Hollywood. Ball knocked out. Surprise, surprise, there's a free pulled out of the pack. Going the way of Souths. I think that was Dylan blew it. He pushes it deep into the South forward line, but it's knocked down by Puckridge and then on to Roos. And Landon Gregory shows no effects from a hamstring and takes a nice grab over Nick Wright. Straight up in front of Hollywood. It's knocked out. Big hit from Dylan Blewett and Tiller barreling in. That was Adam Polden. Fairly solid Polden too. I don't think young Tiller made much of an impact on him. Ball comes up. Oh, that was a lovely half volley collected by mistake by Daniel Nisbet. Kicked it out on the full, and Jaden Blewett will bring the ball back in for South. Jai Teakle provides something, but it goes longer than that in the path of Warhurst, who gets a fist on the ball. Knocked down into the path of Sampson. He taps the ball forward and butters up and brings the ball into the centre. Making front position was Damien Thomas, takes a really good mark, then spreads the ball wide to the wing where Nisbet has got on his bike and got to the other side of the ground. Landon Gregory putting the burners on down the outside. And a bit of confusion there in the Marble Range forward line between Habner and Pennington. Pennington turns on a Penny and leaves him in his wake. He's run too far now, though. Oh, he got away with it and puts it into a dangerous spot in front of Beard. The ball's kept in the forward line for Marble Range. Hollywood moving faster than I've seen him for years. A goal on the end of this, perhaps. He chips it in low and finds Tommy Gent, funnily enough, lurking in front of goals. Watch the goal celebration if this one goes through. Difficult shot, right footer, that sort of breeze. I tell you what, nope, cross the face, one behind. Marble Range look like they've come out to play in this last quarter. The intensity level has gone up. It's man on man all around the ground here. No one's playing loose men. Souths have done this well all game. Chipped the ball out of their defensive zone and found a man with the mark, although that's knocked down by Lane Pennington into the path of Thomas. He back turns, handballs to Pennington, who was met heavily, and the ball will be thrown up. 35 out from Marble Range's goal against the breeze. We're sitting up in the grandstand. I'm not sure if that breeze has dropped off a little, but it seems like it's easier to score against it in the last couple of quarters. There's a barrel pulled out in South's direction, but what a gather by Puckridge. Slides onto the left and drops it onto the chest of Nisbet. Nisbet goes back and chips it forward to Thomas, who's getting busy in this quarter. He puts it out in front of Beard, but that's asking a lot of the big man to move that quickly. Ball out in the pocket. Marble Range are happy for it to be down that end for as long as they like. Kyron Cox looks like he's coming off, shaking his head. He may have done an injury here. He's replaced with Todd Coleman. Mitchell Pearce has done a good job at full back on whoever he's had, although he looks like he's out to centre half back now. I didn't see that. What happened, boys? How'd the free? Was that a free or a mark? Or we're not really sure what's happened here. A free. Dylan Roos, quality wool man, comes in. He's kicked well at goals today, and that's not the commentator's curse has just been put on him, and he's slid that one through the points. Ball coming out Gregory's way. I'm not sure that's a good move. Gregory takes the mark, plays on unselfishly, quickly. Tom Gent, this is a better angle. He'll have a go at this. This is why he's paid the big bucks. He goes back, top of the right hand post to do the spot. Oh, not there. Oh, unselfishly, he's passed it to Beard. Beard runs around with an AFL-style jag kick and kicks it!
So you can hear about that tonight. I reckon we might.
You might get some free commentary on that one at the bar tonight at Marble Range. Ball up in the middle and Big Low, as he has all day, thumps it forward, and as they have all day, Jaden Brewer clears, gets the handball. I think that was to Jacobs perhaps. They go long, Well fought for front position was Warhurst. Rejects the ball. It's pushed back in again by Braden Robinson. There's a contest. Marble Ranger down. Ball snaffled by, I think that was Billy Campbell. Brings it back into the middle, but a great defensive grab by Mitchell Price. And the umpire calls him back off the mark. Price goes out wide to the tackle world side. Nice kick marked by Nisbet, who's given them good run on the wing today. He chips up well to Roos. Hard to miss with the lime green boots. He moves the ball on to Lowe, who's covered the ground well with a dicky knee. He moves the ball in to a good lead from Warhurst, who again has followed up. Marble Range taking a leaf out of Southbrook and chipping the ball up into the breeze quite effectively. Miller provides a lead from half back. They're gradually working the ball across the ground to attack from the grandstand side. That's front on contact without looking at the ball, and Landon Gregory takes the takes the free rather. Umpire Dennis calls back Pennington, who is off with the footy. This might test Gregory's hamstring. He's looking to hand off. He does. To Hollywood. Hollywood puts it out in front of Tommy Gent. Beard with a Richmond handball over the head. Souths run it through and then bring the ball out quickly. Under pressure. Daniel Nisbet. Good closing speed. Put him under the pump. Tommy Gent looking to round towards goals. Caught with the footy. Hollywood again gets a handball away, but under pressure from South. Jaden Blewett again pushing the ball out of the Rangers attacking zone. Nick Wright with a long clearing kick gets it down, and a good grab taken by Jai Teakle. Jai Teakle wheels onto the right and hits up South full forward Billy Campbell, but it's rejected well, and Marble Range on the burst. Daniel Nisbet assesses his options and goes long towards Big Clunker. He got off the ground and brought it to ground. Oh, and the umpires called that a push in the back. That was a lucky one, I think. South a little bit unlucky there. But Beard, I think he's already kicked 2 for the game, going back to possibly have a look at a third. He's lining up for the big ball too. Tell you what, he's pumped that through the middle. There's 2 we're going to hear about all night. Ball down again. Big Low taps it out, and Hollywood clears the ball to the grandstand side. Pennington gets on his bike. Awkward bounce. Well picked up though by, I reckon that was Dylan Blewett. He finds Teakle, and follows up. Puts the ball out into the pocket, but it doesn't come back with the breeze. And it's out of bounds. Actually, it's out of bounds on the full. At the scoreboard end. Still grandstand side. Chris Puckridge goes across goal and finds Adam Hollenby, who takes the ball in the pocket. Looking to take a little bit of sting out of the game now. He finds Sampson. Sampson just needing to go straight up the line now. Looking a bit undecided. He's found Warhurst, who's provided the option. Now he needs to go up the line. Levi Smith saying, don't kick it this way, sunshine. Get it up the line on the other side. Ball in the sun. Big Clunk finding it hard to see, but it's a quick kick by Rowan Mallard in front of Habner. Habner showing a little bit of turn on a foot, and he bit. Finds Pennington at the 50. Levi Smith has run down, saying, now he can kick it to this side. He takes the chest mark at 45. Chips it into the path of Gent. Oh, he's dragged that back in. I think that's a holding the ball. Oh, maybe it's not holding the ball. Ball up again quickly, which the umpires have done all day. Into the path of Mallard, and he's kicked a point. He expects South to bring the ball out with accurate passing. They've done it all game. Greg Rowley to kick out again, taking his time. I'm not sure there's time on in these games, so he's probably not doing himself any favours. He now comes long, looking out this side towards Nick Wright. Pennington's got him, and Pennington off hands flicks it forward. Caught in the tackle. Thomas snaffles it off hands, gets it forward towards Gent. He's clean bowled middle peg, and it's run out by Souths again. They've done this well. Braden Robin, no, that wasn't. That was Greg Rowley again. Over to Sundquist, and that's through the hands of Teakle, but into the path of Jacobs. Jacobs kicks the ball long. It bounces over the pack and straight through for a major. I reckon he's kicked that from 48 metres. We've probably had 15 minutes of this quarter, so 5 to go. You would think Marble Range starting to feel comfortable with the state of the game. After Collingwood winning last night, Big Robert Proud, the assistant coach, would be a very happy man. Oh, desperation still being shown in the middle by Big Beard. Although Souths win the ball and get it forward. Marks dropped by Gus, but cleared by Mitchell Price into the path of Nisbet again. He's got a little bit of toe and a bit of time. Settles on the kick, puts it out over the head of Ruse, and it's well butted up by South. So he's caught in the tackle but got his foot to it. Butted up again by, I think that was one of the Bluets, but the mark is taken by Warhurst across half back. He's held them up across half back all day, Warhurst. Played quite well. One of the Rangers young brigade, and then to the not so young, Puckridge taking the ball cross half back. Great kick, finds Thomas on his own on the wing. He centres the ball back in towards Ruse again. He's manhandled and gets one for his troubles. Long way into the breeze from there, so Lowe's looking to set himself. Can't see Gent out there at this stage. He'd be hovering around there. He came off, and maybe Levi Smith is playing the small role in the pocket. Landon Gregory gets down there, but unselfishly Ruse gives it back to Thomas, who chips inboard to Miller. Miller at 35 metres out will go back. An accurate kick. This, a nail in the South's coffin. Looking to get his name in the paper. Comes in with an easy run. Drops it on the boot and pushes it to the left. One behind. Sting starting to go out of the game a little bit now. Rangers realising they might have a grand final in the bag. South chip it forward again. Again they run the ball out through Blewett. He finds Campbell on the wing. Campbell goes back. Vermeulen gives him something inboard, but he goes up the line. And it's taken by Gus Martin. Martin centres the ball again to Miller. He's everywhere. He plays on, goes to the correct side of the ground with a nice looking drop punt. Ball spills off hands, front and square. Damo Thomas exactly where he should be. It's pushed forward. Finds Smith in the pocket. He sets the ball on its way, and that is a goal. Marble Range sailing through to a victory in the 2018 Grand Final. Two lovely goals from that similar position by Smith in this game. One of the few who've judged the wind well. There's Vermeulen bringing the ball out of defence again. South still accurate at tripping the ball away. But again, Hollywood is racked up getting possessions across that half-back line as a mid. He's pushed back beautifully. Oh, he goes to... It's cut off by Sundqvist. He pushes it forward into the South forward line. The pace of Price hasn't been beaten too many times, and again, Hollywood chips it out into the path of Warhurst. It's met well there by Rowan Mallard and forced over the boundary. Ball thrown in, Beard gets the tap. Miller again clearing the ball out of the contest. Gent back on the ground, takes a lively mark, centres the ball to no one in particular. The ball bounces on its point. Who's there? The man of the moment, Smith. He dodges, handballs away. He's in a nest of South though. And it's a thief in the night. Landon Gregory picked his pocket professionally over the top to Gent. Gent runs into an open goal. Get the handball off to Lowe. Lowe puts it through. And Marble Range celebrate running into the grand final. Clear winners. Ball up in the middle, and Beard, as he has done all day, managing to get the tap out. Turned over in the midfield by South. Jacobs comes out, takes the chest mark. He's been lively across half forward for South. Couple of leads given. A little bit too long now. Now they're under the pump. And Miller, good tackle, put them under pressure. Ball gets bundled into the forward line without any system. And it's met well by Mitchell Price, who's hardly been beaten for a ball all day. He takes it over the boundary in that same pocket. I'm sure there are naked dancing girls down there somewhere. Turning into a scrappy affair in that pocket in the dying moments of the final. As the time clock clicking over towards 20 minutes, siren will be any minute. How's that for a prediction? Marble Range, comfortable winners in the Reserves Grand Final, 14-12 to South, 5-3. I need a beer.